Guys, this is Nick Brown of J-Tech today. Today we are going to be doing a brake inspection on a heavy Class 8 or semi truck. Okay. So right here I got a hub with brakes on it. They're drum brakes, they're not disc brakes. This is not a disc brake inspection video, this is a drum brake inspection video. This goes for any truck. Okay. So with that, I got the wheel off here, alright, off the hub. My hub is still assembled. Okay, the only thing that I'm going to be removing during this brake inspection video is the drum. Alright. Right here we have our brake drum. Alright. Now, on the inside of this brake drum, many factors tell whether this brake drum is good or bad. Alright. I don't know if this can show up into the video, but on the inside of this drum, there are cracks, okay, right here. These cracks way down in here. If these cracks exceed in excess of 2 inches, okay, this drum is no good, it needs to be replaced. Alright, now, just from a feeling of the brake, it has a bad lip. The brake drum, it has a very bad lip on it, which means it has a lot of wear into it. The best thing to do at that point is to get a caliper to measure the inside diameter at 4 points on the brake drum. Okay. Also, with a visual inspection, you can also look at it for rust, glaziness, improperly worn spots, anything else. Alright, so with that, we're going to measure this. So with me here, I have a digital caliper. You want to go ahead and you want to flip it on. Alright, and basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to measure the inside diameter at 4 points inside the brake drum. Now, before I start this, I also want to point out that the brake drum specs can be written on the outside, imprinted on the outside of the brake drum, or on this specific brake drum, they're on the outside, mates with the wheel. Okay, so right down here, max diameter 16.62. If the inside diameter as it wears gets bigger and it exceeds that measurement, you want to go ahead and you want to replace that measurement. You want to go ahead and replace that drum. Alright, we're going to be taking alright. Alright, so we have a measurement of 16.533 inches. That's at 1 point. Now I want to take it and I want to do the opposite direction, basically like the other diagonal direction. Okay? Alright. So now we have another measurement of 16.537. Alright, so in a way, this brake drum would be good, but the downfall is it has such a rough surface and such a cracked surface from all the heat that's been built up inside this brake drum. Therefore, as a technician, I would not be putting this back on my customer's truck. Now, prior to this brake inspection video, a brake, basically you want to disengage the parking brake, and how you do that, engage the brake chambers. How you do that is very simple. You go into the truck, have the air system aired up, okay, it's very easy if you have the air system aired up in the truck. Release the parking brake, okay. Therefore, if you come around here, on the parking brake chambers, you'll have a stud. When the parking brake is released, the spring brake inside here gets compressed. The spring actually gets compressed, okay? So I can stick the stud in there, turn it 90 degrees, and then put my lock nut on it and tighten it all the way down to where it's mated against the brake chamber housing and it's torqued, okay? At that point, what it does is it engages, or it releases the parking brake and holds it into place, and that's called caging the brake, okay? That's a safety thing that you want to do with these brakes. Else, if I didn't do that, I would not have been able to take this brake drum off, okay? Because otherwise, the brake shoes would have expanded out onto the brake drum, and I wouldn't have been able to remove it, okay? So with that, we're going to be looking at the actual brake shoes and the hub itself, okay? Just basic visual inspection, you want to make sure there's no cracks in the brake shoes on either top or bottom brake shoe. You don't want to make sure there's any chips in the brake shoe. Also, you want to measure your lining thickness. The lining thickness, if this is below 1/4 of an inch, these brake shoes do need to be replaced. Okay, if it is below 1/4 inch. Okay, and that goes for top and bottom. Now, there's some confusion on how to measure these things. Measure at the lowest point, okay? Always measure at the lowest point. Some guys, what they'll do is they'll measure at the highest point, measure at the middle, at the lowest point, guys. The lowest point, okay? So with that, it's better to be safe than sorry. Alright. Tension on the springs, you want to make sure that each spring has tension. Now in a regular brake job, all these springs will be replaced. The recoil spring and the hold-in springs, okay? Also, you want to measure your S-cam, okay? S-cam, there is a in and out measurement with S-cam. The measurement on that is 0 to 30 thousandths, okay? And basically what that does is when I take the brake shoes off, and I take the springs off, and I take all the pins off, the roller pins off, okay? And basically all I have connected to the hub is my spider, my S-cam housing, and my S-cam. It's the only thing that should be visible whenever you're measuring the run out on the S-cam, okay? I'm going to shake the S-cam, have a dial indicator connected to it, alright? If my measurement is within 30 thousandths, good. If it exceeds 30 thousandths, replace the S-cam. That means somewhere in the housing it is worn excessively, therefore the S-cam needs to be replaced. Okay? Now we want to go back to our brake, our slack adjuster. Okay? Just by visual inspection back here on the slack adjuster, I want to make sure that there's no cracks, there's no chips in the slack adjuster. Also, at the same lubricating the slack adjuster. Basically, you want to make sure on the back side of here there's a grease fitting. Alright, you want to make sure that everything is lubed. That way there's lube coming out on an auto tank. So you want to grease it basically until you see grease coming out of the pores of the slack adjuster. Okay? So with that, guys, basically that is also one last thing. You want to measure your clevis and pin. That's what can control or what connects the slack adjuster to the push rod. It's a pin with a cotter pin in it. Okay, that's called the clevis and the pin. Make sure that's not worn. Make sure there's no excess movement that can also affect push rod travel. That can also lead to poor stopping in the truck. Okay.